This reaction is brought to you by my $5 or more patrons at patreon.com/AlexHeitz. We have Identitech, Steve Aldersley, Anthony Coleman, Ray Schuster, David Dockery, Kurt David, Aubrey Coper, Alastair Richards, Andreas Glaisel, and Biff C. Thank you all so much for sponsoring this video, supporting the channel, me and my family. It means the world to me. I hope you enjoy the video. Hibiscus. Not a huge LaCroix person, but we've recently been sold on the limoncello flavor, which is like this very smooth, like almost vanilla-y lemon. And it's just like miles above the other LaCroix, but I'm trying to like parse that out because we found a 12-pack and we don't want to like, it's hard to find, so we don't want to like, drink it all. So I have hibiscus right now. It's all right. It's not fantastic. It doesn't blow my mind, but I gotta be drinking something special when I'm doing these. It's part of the shtick. Hello, everyone. Welcome. For those of you who don't know, I recently posted an update video. I lost my job, which means that normally I do one of these a week, and now I'm just gonna spend 40 hours a week making these until I get a new job. So expect an influx of content from me. I have a feeling this video will probably do pretty well. I'll probably get more new viewers, new subscribers. So to all you, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video. I've done like 70 plus 80 of these reactions. So if you want to check out the playlist on my channel of all the stuff I've done so far, like Joy Division, Velvet Underground, Pavement, Smiths, The Cure, I've done a lot of things, New Order. So if you're interested, check that out. Patreon.com/AlexHeitz if you want to support the channel. And I also have a Discord. Link to that is in the description. We got like 50 to 60 people on there. It's a lot of fun. Schedule live streams, music discussions that go up on the channel. So check that out if you're interested as well. I think that's all the plugging that I have to do. We're just going to get right into the music here, okay? We have Dark Side of the Moon. This is an album I actually listened to maybe like 5+ years ago. And I just kind of did it because I was like, well, I got to listen to Dark Side of the Moon, but I wasn't really like musically knowledgeable or apt or coherent, whatever. I didn't really get it at the time. And to this day, I still am not super big on progressive rock. So if you guys want to just dislike the video immediately because I just said that, go ahead. But I'm not a super big progressive rock guy. I have heard 21st Century Schizoid Man by King Crimson. I thought that's an interesting song. I don't like love it. It doesn't jive with me, but I can really appreciate and respect the artistry in it, and the composition and the songwriting and the playing even is really impressive. But I feel like I'm a little more musical now. So I'm going to give Dark Side of the Moon a try again. I don't remember any of the music at all, really. Looking at the tracks now, are there any that I can remember what they sound like? No. I look at all these titles and I don't know what any of them sound like. So this is their 8th studio album, progressive rock, 43 minutes. They had done, obviously, 7 albums before this. Atom Heart Mother is one of their bigger ones before this. I think some of their more earlier ones are also kind of interesting and well-regarded. I don't know if they're necessarily progressive like some of their later stuff. But this album kind of marked the beginning of, their back half of their catalog, which includes things like Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, like those are the next 3 albums, which are heavy hitters for sure. So I'm kind of interested to see their kind of midpoint. This is sort of their midpoint in the beginning of their big stuff in the end. Again, know hardly anything about Pink Floyd. I'm not planning on really doing their entire discography as of right now. I'm willing to kind of hop around a little bit. So if there's an album that you guys think I should listen to next from Pink Floyd, next as in like the next Pink Floyd album I listen to, not the next album I listen to in general, let me know in the comments, whether it's like Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, one of their earlier ones, and then just like the comment if someone else said it, and I'll kind of see what one of the more popular choices are, and I'll probably do that one somewhat soon. So Dark Side of the Moon, I think we're going to hop right in. We have 10 tracks. Some of them are quite long, some of them are pretty short. Yeah, I'm just going to go right in. Zero expectations. I'm not expecting to love it. I'm not expecting to hate it. Again, not super big into progressive rock, but I'll see what I can take away from this. All right, here we go, guys. Speak to me. Obviously, that leads right into the next one. So let's just hop right into that. Breathe, or breathe in the air, whichever one it is. Whoa. Okay. Next one, I guess. On the Run. I suppose I'll kind of wait until like this section is done. I think it's the first three, right? That kind of, or first three, sorry, that kind of go together. So On the Run. So yeah, all it seems like a lot of these songs are leading into each other. So I'll stop finally, and I'll just kind of talk about this. So obviously, Speak to Me, kind of a simple little intro, nothing to really talk about there. With Breathe, here's the like my hurdle, and maybe you guys can kind of help me with this. With certain genres of music and certain like artists, when I have a hard time with them, it's like I don't think this is bad. It's just like I don't get it. Like I don't know how it fits in my life, you know? Like there's certain artists and albums and songs where like I listened to them at the right moment in my life where it's like my circumstances were this was happening to me, I was in this place, I connect it with these things, whether it's real life instances or maybe even like other art. Like sometimes I'll listen to one thing, but like it makes me think of another and it makes this make more sense. If that makes any sense to you guys. And I haven't really figured that out with Pink Floyd yet. Like when I was listening to Breathe, like I got this, obviously there's this psych progressive thing happening, but it felt spacey, but it also almost had like a kind of a country twinge because there was some steel guitar in there, right? Am I mistaken? Yeah, multi-tracked pedal steel guitars by Gilmore. And so it's like I'm getting like different vibes from it, and I'm like, I don't quite know how to slot this into my life, like how this makes me feel. So if you guys like want to talk in the comments about like what this album makes you think of, what it reminds you of, if the album's concepts, which are things like what it says here: conflict, greed, time, death, and mental illness. Like, what does this album make you feel and think of? That might help me kind of pin it down and just sort of figure out a way to get into it, because it's just a little difficult sometimes. I don't know. And there's been times where artists just click for me too. Like in a way, going through a lot of David Bowie had him click for me in a way. I still don't love him, but I really enjoy a lot of his music now. More than I would have before if I didn't have a good historical concept that people were helping me with in the comments. So I think I need something similar here. Just what does Pink Floyd in this album make you think of and make you feel? That On the Run was pretty cool. I liked that. This cool like instrumental piece done on a synthesizer. Deals with the pressures of travel, which according to Richard Wright would often bring fear of death. That was a kind of cool little progressive, almost like electronic. I could see this album influencing post rock a little bit too. Oddly enough, On the Run made me think of some segments off of Lift Your Skinny Fist by Godspeed You Black Emperor. And then that last kind of crash at the end, which seemed like a car or an airplane crashing. Obviously, leads into time with those like ticking clocks. So let's just keep going forward. Time. Time. It does get away from us. It's also like a part of what I grapple with progressive rock is like the vocals, like the Floyd vocals, which I think is predominantly Gilmore. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's just something about the vibe I just can't quite get into as well. That's also part of it. Anyway, the Great Gig in the Sky.
And I am not frightened of dying. Any time will do, I don't mind.
Is it over? Yeah, that's it. Okay. I don't really understand the purpose of that one. Because it says the song features music by Richard Wright and non-lexical vocals by Claire Torrey, which it was just obviously all wailing. The Great Gig in the Sky. I don't really know like what it means. I don't know. There's stuff on the Wikipedia that I could read, but I'm not gonna because I'm just gonna keep moving on. Cool piano though. Again, I'm trying not to like take this song by song. I'm trying to kind of save a lot of it for like a full album feel kind of a thing. So that's side one. 5 more tracks to go. Money. I think I remember this one a little bit. Goes into the next one, obviously. Very blues, hard rock kind of a thing. You see, that's a perfect case of a song where I'm like, that's fantastic. The composition and the playing is superb, but it doesn't do hardly anything for me. I'm just not a blues hard rock guy. But like I'm able to objectively like see and appreciate and respect all of it. It's weird. It's weird. I'll probably be that way with blues and hard rock for quite a while in my life. The progressive stuff I think I can figure out, but a song like Money is just like, it just doesn't stick with me. But it was good. It was pretty good. Us and Them, another long one. What happened to Song? Song is all gone. Actually, I was vibing with that one pretty good. That's almost like kind of Bowie-esque in a way. With some of the like climaxes, I kind of got like Aladdin Sane vibes from it. Very chill, very dreamy, very spacey. Yeah, that was good. That's like more in my wheelhouse. I can vibe with that. Any color you like. Last 3 songs are somewhat shorter, normal length. So this is probably going to be like an instrumental outro. Looks like. It's always a surprise when it happens. Not bad. Cool little instrumental thing. Nothing crazy exciting, but this is flowing again right into the next one. Oh my gosh. They were so forward thinking in 1973. All right, Brain Damage, penultimate track. Isn't this the, like, people pair this with like Paul Blart 2 or something like that? Because obviously there's like the running gag of like play the Dark Side of the Moon over any movie and it fits in some way. And when you get to this point, like Paul Blart is like on the grass or something like that. I can't remember. I watched a YouTube video at one point about it and I thought it was really funny. Anyway.
Remembering games and daisy chains, and every day the paper boy brings more. And if the dam breaks open many years too soon, you on the dark side of the moon.
Someone always flushes the toilet right across the on the other room, like every time I record. Eclipse, final track, guys. Let's close this out.
How you feel, and all that you love, and all that you hate, all you create, and all you destroy, and all that you do, but the sun is eclipsed by the moon.
Terrible. I hate it. No. Interesting, like kind of climactic ending to it. If I'm not mistaken, this whole second side was one continuous, like they went one from the next, right? They transitioned into each other. Interesting. Okay, so on a whole, this was pretty cool. I'll say that. For 1973, like this is pre-Low by David Bowie, which is pretty cool. I haven't heard what's it called, In the Courts of the Crimson King, the debut from Crimson King, which was 69. But I have heard that 21st Century track, which was pretty cool as well. So I don't know how much is being done here that is new versus something like stuff that King Crimson did 4 years before. But I see a lot of cool things going forward into music history here. With kind of the concept album vibe. I don't know how prevalent that was back in 73 to this degree. It seems almost a little like heavy-handed and like simple with its themes, where it's like, oh, let's do one about time and put like clocks chiming in it. But this might be like a Citizen Kane effect thing. I've said this before on the channel, where sometimes you watch a movie or you listen to an album or you read a book, and it's like, this is like one of the best things ever made. And you like read it or watch it or listen to it, and you're like, this doesn't seem like super special. Like with Citizen Kane, I remember like Citizen Kane was like built up like crazy. You know, everyone's like, it's the best movie ever made. And I watch it and I'm like, it's just like a really good drama. What's the big deal? And come to find out, it's kind of like it hadn't really been done that well before then. So it was kind of like a milestone thing. And we've had so much stuff influenced and kind of, you know, that blazed the trail, that like we're used to that kind of stuff now. So when you go back and look at it, it seems unremarkable because it you know, it set the tone for everything going forward. And I'm wondering if that's kind of what's happening here, where it's like I hear, you know, On the Run, and it reminded me of, you know, Godspeed, and I hear Time, and it's like, okay, clock's ticking. I hear Money, and you hear the cha-ching. It's like, all right, that seems a little like heavy-handed, but it's like it's effective, and it, for this era, maybe that was like a brand new thing, which is, cool. So really respect it. It's obviously great. Do I like it? I like parts of it. I like elements of it. Probably my favorite is Us and Them. Obviously, I really jived with that one. The instrumentals are interesting, like On the Run and Any Color You Like. Those are fine. What else? Great Gig in the Sky is interesting. Ones like Breathe and maybe Time and Brain Damage that are a little more straightforward prog rock, with the organs and the vocals of a progressive band. Still hasn't really clicked. But again, I'll be reading your comments very vigorously and thoroughly to kind of see what this album and this band means to you guys. But that was an interesting listen. I enjoyed that to some degree. So I do follow-ups to these because obviously this is first reaction. It's not going to be like my ultimate final reaction. Because when I listened to The Queen is Dead by the Smiths for the first time, I was like, what? This is weird. I was kind of taken aback, didn't know what to think. And then like 3 days later, it became one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite albums of all time now. So I try to do follow-ups that happen a week after I listen. So today is the 6th, Thursday, which means that I should put out a follow-up to this reaction on the 13th or so. So if you guys want to subscribe, do all that jazz. Do you like jazz? I do. I'm not going to react to jazz, though. It's kind of boring to react to. Not good video content. Sidetracked. All that jazz. If you subscribe, stick around, you can see my follow-up reaction, or my follow-up to this reaction, basically how this album has sat with me over the course of a week. Sometimes it changes drastically. Sometimes it stays the same. So we'll see how that sits. But anyway, that is all, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around for plenty more reactions coming your way. So that is all. Godspeed.